Hello and welcome back to another one in the series of the Ellis Clark Trains how-to videos. What we're going to do today is a bit of a short video, but it will show you how to fit people to one of our new Darstaed Thompson coaches, which will cover another little thing for the people that weren't quite sure of how to get inside one, how to take the roof off, how to take the circuit board out. And then we'll go on fitting some figures. So really today, all we're going to need tools-wise is a workbench area, could be a dining room table. You're going to need a long screwdriver that's a blade screwdriver. The reason it's a long one is the normal jeweler's type screwdriver will not be long enough. It will not reach up into the top of the coach through the floor. So you are going to have to find a long blade screwdriver. You're going to need a small posi drive screwdriver, a set of side cutting pliers like a set of Xerons, maybe a cocktail stick, a file, small set of pliers, a scalpel, and some PVC insulation tape, preferably in black, and the figures that you're going to use. The ones I'm going to use today are pre-painted for ourselves by Robert Northumbria Painting Services, which are the ones that we're actually stocking, but there are many others out there. I'm going to use a little tray only to put screws in, and a pair of tweezers, which I'm sort of using as a pointer at the moment. Right, so we get the coach out of the box. The first thing we need to do is turn it upside down. Make it easier today, I'm going to put it in a little cradle. And what I'm going to do is use the tweezers for pointing. Now, in here you will see there are two holes on each end. On your new coach, they will have a little stick-on paper disc over them. It's just to make them look a bit neater from the factory. The factory apply them. Ignore the paper disc, just poke the screwdriver straight through the holes. So first of all, we're going to put the screwdriver straight in and try to get it at 90 degrees to the coach roof. If you fathom about and fiddle about with it, you will find that there is a slot in the screw. Now the screws are captive. They have a circlip on them that stops the screws coming out. So just undo your screws, two at each end. And I'll do this in real time. We won't cut or anything. We'll just do both ends. It's a little bit of a feel till you find it drops into the slot, and then away it comes. You'll see the coach roof ever so slightly raising away from the coach side. That one went straight in first time. Sure I got that one there right, and that's the screwdriver done. We can then remove the coach roof and pop it to one side. Now just a little point on the coach roof, I will come back onto it. On different coaches the roof vents are set particular ways. Some are set central, some are set off-sided. The off-side ones are for corridor coaches, and when you're putting your roof back on you need to get them offside into the actual compartment, not onto the corridor. The next thing you will see is you've got two options. The reason there's two different sides of tape here is I've pre-prepped this one beforehand, but I've taken it back to the two states that are available on our coaches. One of them is a black PVC insulation electrical tape, and the Thompsons come with a sort of metallic type tape. All this is for is to stop light from shining out under the gutter strip on the roof from the LED strips. All we basically do next is, with our little posi drive screwdriver, is we take out the 8 little posi drive screws, which are these here, that hold the circuit board in. We're not taking any wiring out or anything like that. We're just going to take these screws off, and then we're going to fold back the circuit board. Now, although I'm working on a Thompson coach, a Darstaed Thompson, if you're working on a Mark I coach, one of the earlier model Mark Is that we produced, you will need to have a posi drive screwdriver, because the earlier ones were posi drive. These are now on blade, just to let you know on that one, to remove the roof. Otherwise, the Mark I coach is the same procedure as this one. So next, if I use my tweezers, I'm just going to pick up the tape, pull the tape back, remove the tape, And for ease, I'm just going to stick it to the side of the workbench. We then grab hold of the board and just gently lift it over. And now, if we can have a little look with the camera, you can see down into the coach now. Okay, that's as far as we need to go for disassembling. What we're now going to do is look at the figures in general. The figures that we've got, if we pop them in, we need to be a little bit conscious of, are they sitting correctly, i.e. how you would sit in a coach. The reason sometimes is the feet can be a little bit too long, or the legs can be a little bit too long, and they don't sit natural. Now by that I'm meaning the small of the back is not against the coach seat. I'm sat against a Mark 1 coach seat now, and I'm sure if I were on a train for a long time, I'd want to be sat comfortable with me back against the back of the seat. Sometimes, if they're not placed incorrectly, they'll look a bit strange. So we've got two options. This is why we've got the side cutting pliers. These, you could just literally just cut off the bottom little bit of the feet, and just a quick file with a flat file. You're not going to see when you're looking. You know, as the train's going past, you're not going to see. There's no need to cut them off from just above the knee. We can just pop these in how we want them. And you'll see now that he will sit far better and look far more realistic, just for the fact we've taken his feet off. So to glue them in, all I'm going to use is just some super glue, just some Gorilla Glue. You could use a what do you call it, a Yoo-hoo type glue. Doesn't need tons of it on, because the covers on the paper, on the seats, are paper. So once in will be enough. I'm going to pop this chap in there. In he goes. In position there for a few seconds. Then the next one, I think what we're going to use is, there's some round here that's a couple there. The couple, as we're doing this real time, maybe is more of a, we have to adjust the feet. No, in fact, they've actually gone in quite nice of those. I don't know if you can see that with the camera. So same again, now that we know we're happy that he goes in, we'll pull them back out and we'll get some more glue on them. Now, the one thing I will say on this is, less is more. There's no need to fill the coach of like rush hour from King's Cross. 4 or 5 people in a coach will give the illusion of passengers. We don't need hundreds and hundreds of people in a coach. I mean, if you want to, you can do, but realistically, I think sometimes less is more. They don't all need to be at side of the window. Not everybody does. If you think about yourself, sometimes you just get in and you're just happy to sit where you are. You're not bothered. You don't have to be against the window. So this lady, I think what we're going to do is we're going to put her in the opposite corner near the door to the compartment. We'll pop her in there. So at the moment, we've actually got 4 figures in here. I'm just going to put a 5th in this one here, in the middle. And same again, it's just not seating 100%. So because once they're in for good, I'm just going to clean your feet back, little quick file. Some super glue underneath. Back onto the tweezers because they help us get them in. And we'll pop him in there. Okay, I think we've probably got enough figures in one coach now. All we simply do to rebuild the coach is little screws, 8 of them, back in. So once again, we are doing this in real time, so if you please just bear with us, and all we're only putting little screws in. But rather than cutting and shutting the video, I think sometimes it's nicer to show you how quick it is and easy it is to do. If you find some screwdrivers that are magnetic, they make life a lot easier for these small screws, because they are steel screws. So as you can see, you can then hold them and not worry about them falling out. It makes life a lot easier on your screwdrivers. There's a lot of the smaller DIY shops and things like that, and pound shops sell them, and you tend to find they could be magnetic. So they're worth finding some if you can that are. That's it. That's them in. And the last thing is, don't forget this piece. This is your insulation tape. That's all it does, is it stops the light from showing underneath the roof gutter. It's all it's there for. It's not holding anything in or anything like that. Run it down. What I will say is, don't forget, don't have it too far near the edge so it starts dangling over, and just pierce it to make sure, because what there are 8, is it 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 round holes here. And these holes here locate the lugs there. Some of them have been removed in the factory because they're pulled down better, but that's all they're for. And then the next thing is, as we've said, the roof vents, if you can see, are offset to this side. They need to be over the compartment, not the corridor. And also, depending which coach you fit in, you've got the roof filler caps there for the toilet area. Some of them just have a toilet at one end, so make sure you get those right when you're putting them on, because the roofs are universal and they will go either way, but your coach will be slightly wrong. So don't worry about joining up the tabs at the moment. All you need to do is literally, once you know that your figures have glued, so you might want to leave them a half an hour or so beforehand, turn it upside down, and once again, back in, find the screw, and it will just thread back on. They're not self-tappers. They are actually threaded screws. I think they're an M5 thread. So in you go. Don't over tighten them and swing on them so that you break them out of the roof. They need to be tight, but not so you could hang a coach off one. They just want to be just enough to pull the coach roof in. That's all we need you to do. That's it. See, I'm not putting that much pressure on. And then the last bit, which is the most satisfying piece, if you look on this side, the lugs have all gone in, but on this side they haven't. All you need to do, just push them back in. There you go. Quite satisfying. You get a little click as they go in, and that's your coach back together again with your people in, and it's ready to go. And it's as easy as that. If you've got any questions on stripping any of the coaches down that we produce, obviously you could do this on Darstaed coaches, you could do this on Helgen coaches, but the procedures are slightly different, and you need to look at how to strip the coach down. Other than that, all you really need are some minimal tools, and it'll make a massive difference. But once again, less is more. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll do some more maybe next time on how to fit some transfers to one of our coaches. Speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.